up, guys? It's your boy, BarcaBoy 103. Today we're going to be reacting to the Barcelona news over the past 24 hours, where there's not too much, individual news, but the news is massive. I mean, it's massive to the point that it has to be considered beyond belief. Firstly, Deco again is moving absolutely effing mad and is now considering Dani Olmo a top priority for Barcelona this summer. I don't know where, how, what, and why, but we'll dissect that, the cost, how he fits into the squad, what the plans will be to try and fit him in, and why Deco wants him. We'll discuss all that in details, along with, of course, the left wing reinforcement. Again, Deco still pushing for Luis Diaz, while other board members and, of course, the Barca fans are really pushing for Nico Williams. Those two are quite clearly the two top priorities to reinforce the left wing. Not too much midfield reinforcement news, but some enough to, for me to talk about it on Angelo and Joao Kimmich. Had some exit reports as well on Mikayil Faye, Sergi Roberto, some players that we have a percent of a future sale on. I'll give you guys the updates on that. But, of course, the biggest news has been the fact that it's official. Barcelona will return to the 1-1 rule. They found a company in Dubai to take over the money from Liberal, which of course they're taking to court and suing them. But the money is going to be there. The club want to get the deal done this week and then officially announce it next week, giving us full freedom, of course, in the transfer market come July. But before we get into it, make sure you guys smash that like button down below. Let's try to get to 200 likes in this video. Be very much appreciated. Also, if you're new, make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't already, and let's get into it. Now, before we get into this video, I do have an announcement to make, and that is that this Saturday I'm going to be doing a live watch along for Turkey versus Portugal on Tifo. Tifo is a new live watch-along site where it's just purely live watch-alongs. The integration and interaction with the community is fantastic. You guys can come and join the live watch-along on screen. We're going to have a nice little scoreboard. The design is great as well. Interaction, the chat is going to be great. It's a new platform that I really want to try out, and I think it has a potential to take over the live watch-along scene. So make sure you hit the link in the description down below, sign up, create an account, set the reminder for the live stream. The referral code, by the way, is BarcaBoy. Again, all details are in the description, but set the reminder, come and join me on the live watch along. I'm going to watch the Joao, see how they do, and again, it's going to be a good game as well. And do not forget, live interaction in the chat. You guys can literally actually join the live stream as well. It's going to be sick. Make sure you tune in. Let's start off with the transfer news over the past 24 hours. We've got some belters again. Let's get cracking right into it. First, we have some updates on the left wing reinforcement, which of course one of the main priorities for Barcelona this summer. A lot of left wing talk and no pivot talk over recent weeks, which is starting to concern me a little bit. But Fernando Polo of Mundo Deportivo came out saying that Luis Diaz and Nico Williams are Barcelona's favorite options for the left wing position. Of course, we know for a fact that everyone in the club, including Deco, likes Nico Williams, but Deco himself does prefer, by the looks of things, Luis Diaz over the Spanish winger. Again, gonna come down to details, gonna come down to talks between Liverpool and Athletic Bilbao respectively to see what operation is most feasible, also cheaper to execute as well. Mundo Deportivo also came out saying that this week there will be some meetings for Luis Diaz in America. Of course, America is where the Copa America is happening tomorrow, or sorry, actually today. Live watch along for Argentina. Make sure you tune in. I am gassed against my country, Canada, but I'm already backing Argentina. But anyways, again, the option is quite clear for me. And Nico Williams beats Luis Diaz in every single category that you want to have a head-to-head against. I think the only place where Luis Diaz beats Nico Williams is that bit of experience. You could say maybe more of a decisiveness in the final third as well in terms of goal scoring, but Nico Williams is by far the better winger and more suitable, and it can adapt quicker to Barcelona as well. He's friends with half the effing squad, for crying out loud. So we'll see how things turn out in this regard. But for me, it's quite clear who the option should be. But again, we'll see how Barcelona pursue this transfer. Now, the second biggest news around Barcelona over the past 24 hours has been this bombshell news about Dani Olmo. It's coming in from Ivan San Antonio of Sport, who is quite reliable. I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing, but it's definitely, without a shadow of a doubt, shocking news. He's come out saying that Deco, of course, met with the agent of Dani Olmo yesterday, talking about Mikayil Faye and the player himself, to make it clear that the player is a top priority for the club and laid out the groundwork for a possible transfer. Dani Olmo has a release clause of 60 million euros, which is valid only until July 15th. Deco is looking for a possible solution to pay a transfer fee, which would involve installments. Also, Hansi Flick has given the okay for the potential signing of Dani Olmo. He also likes Nico Williams as well, but the Leipzig forward would be his preferred pick if given the chance. What in... Oh my... Listen. Let's break this down into two categories. Firstly, let's compare Dani Olmo with Nico Williams 1v1. It ain't a fucking question. It's not a question. Nico Williams is clear. We need a pure effing winger. We have about 5 players who have the profile of Dani Olmo in this team. You can play Gavi on the left. You can play Pedri on the left. You have Joao Felix who can also play inverted on the left as well. You have those profiles. You have Robin Lopez. You have those profiles already in your squad. Why are you going to go and invest 60 million? I don't care if it's paid in installments or not. You're going to go and splash 60 million euros on a position that I mentioned in the last video is a luxury signing. It is not a signing that we need. It's a signing that you make when your team is fully complete. You want to add him on top of that, sure, but spending that is crazy. Second of all, top priority. Are you effing? I'm about to freaking punch someone in the face. How is Dani Olmo a top priority when we need a pivot, we need a left winger, and trust me, he does not fucking count as a left winger that we need. Look, there's two things happening here. Either Deco is cooking, he's gonna build an absolutely unbelievable squad. He's gonna sign Nico, he's gonna sign Dani Olmo and a midfielder and Ben Ferran Torres or whatever the case may be, or he's absolutely losing his effing mind. It's one of the two, because if Dani Olmo is your only left wing signing, may God have mercy on my soul, we're getting cooked next season, at least at the top level. If you're signing Dani Olmo on top of a left winger, I'm expecting a big sale. I think that if the plan is to sign Dani Olmo and also a left winger, whether it's Luis Diaz, Nico Williams, whatever the case may be, I think Rafinha is done. I think Deco's plan is to sell Rafinha, use that money for a left winger, whether it's again Luis Diaz or Nico Williams, and then use the transfer budget to bring in Dani Olmo. That's what I personally think that Deco is planning out, what he's kind of testing the waters for. Is that, the right move? Absolutely effing not. I would much rather have Rafinha in this squad over Dani Olmo. Dani Olmo is a great player, fantastic player, but he's, again, a luxury signing for what Barcelona have in their squad right now. We have about 5 players of the profile of Dani Olmo. Why make it a 6? It just doesn't make sense. Again, if he's a free transfer available with 1 year left on his deal and a cut price of 20 million, 25 million euros, sure, you can talk, you can negotiate, you can, bring up the debate. But now, when there is clearly, I would say, 3 positions that we need to invest money in and to make this squad compete at the highest level next season, and you're going out and not reinforcing that position with the, limited funds transfer, of course, transfer budget wise that we do have, just does not make sense. Look, I like Dani Olmo. I think he's a good player. If we end up signing him, I'll back him. I think he's a good player. I have no problem with that. It's just the profile that we need, and again, the price as well. That's the 2 things that I have a problem with. But how is he a top priority? Again, I have no idea what Deco's cooking here. I mean, he's pushing us, shoving Luis Diaz down our throats. He's pushing aside Nico Williams. He's bringing in Dani Olmo's face in the frame. I have no idea what he's doing. But again, if the plan is to bring Dani Olmo and also a left winger, whoever it may be, I think Rafinha is done out here. Or De Jong if he does not renew. I don't think the club will really sell Idaho if he does not renew his contract. I think the club will really want to keep him, kind of play the long-term game with him. But the only player that's quite clear that we're open to selling in our squad for a good price is Rafinha. Yes, we might accept an offer for Christensen or Koundé or whoever the case may be, but Rafinha is the one that they're putting, in the media. So I think that's what Deco's plan is, to, get rid of Rafinha, bring in Dani Olmo and Nico Williams or Luis Diaz. That's what I think he's trying to do. So We'll wait and see how things turn out, but again, I'm not too happy in regards to the profile and to the money invested, but the player himself, of course, he's good. I rate Dani Olmo very highly. Of course, former La Masia players coming back to his club. He's, of course, in the Spanish national team. He knows a lot of the players, so integration and stuff like that will not be an issue. And again, he's a good player. It's just not what we need right now. But we'll see how things do turn out. Again, this is only Ivan San Antonio coming out confirming this, so wait for further confirmation. But looks like Barcelona is back in the race for Dani Olmo. Now, in the media, there's been non-stop talk about Barcelona reinforcing the left wing, which of course is good, but it is of course number 2 to what the main priority should be is of course the midfielder, whether it's going to be a 6 or an 8/6 coming down to Hansi Flick of what he wants. But again, the search and the rumors about that position is dying off quite a bit. We have some updates. Firstly, Pedigal came out confirming the report that we talked about yesterday that Stuttgart do want 50 million for Angelo Stellar if they do consider selling him. He has a contract until 2027, no release clause. It's totally in their favor. So again, that is very, very interesting. They of course doubled their price since the Barcelona interest came in. So I think this option is 1,000,000,000% off the table. This of course gives momentum to the Mikayil Marino operation, which again no updates as of late. We also have some quotes from Joao Kimmich, who's speaking in the media about his future, of course linked with Barcelona a lot. He came out saying the situation is absolutely clear. I have a contract with Bayern Munich until 2025. It's not mainly up to me to be to active right now. My focus is solely on the European Championship right now, and after that there will be of course some conversation. So again, keeping his future wide open. I'm very worried about this position, man. This is the number 1 target. You know, this is the one that we bought last summer that kind of, led to our downfall last season. Us, playing Christensen there, but he's not really too dependable player. Romeo, of course, turned out to be an absolutely woeful decision. Busquets has decided to leave. It absolutely costs us. And we're still lackluster and, searching for what we want. Do we want a number 6? Do we want another number 8? Do we want a player that can play both? Are we looking for someone medium term, long term, short term? Very much in the air, so we'll wait and see. I think the club cannot mess up on this position this summer, but again, no real rumors about that. Only thing that we do know is that Alex Pentel has come out saying multiple times that Barcelona have Nico Williams and Joao Kimmich as their top 2 priorities this summer. Again, if we do sign Kimmich, I won't mind it. Again, it comes down to what the price is. If we spend, upwards of 40, I'll be fuming. If we spend under 40, I'll be, content with it, but he would be my first choice. But if Hansi Flick wants him, I think he's the best option for Barcelona. Him and Young, like Pivot, or him and Gundogan, even though that didn't really work for the German national team. Have at it. So we'll wait and see how things turn out. But again, gone pretty quiet in the transfer rumor wise in regards to Barcelona's midfield reinforcement. Another situation that Barcelona have to resolve very soon is, of course, the situation of both the Joaos. We only have one update on the one Joao, which is Joao Cancelo. He came out speaking to the media, while on Portuguese international duties, and I'm really happy being at Barcelona. I'm very comfortable, and I hope to be here next season. Also, Pedigal came out quoting these quotes, saying that Barcelona are still in talks for a new loan deal with Cancelo. Hansi Flick wants him to stay. So again, negotiations continue with Man City to try and find a resolution for Cancelo. The manager has quite clearly given the green light, so wait and see how this turns out. I've seen the price drop now. I'm seeing some reports that, City only want 20 million for Cancelo. It's quite clear they want somewhere in the region of 25 to 30 million euros, I would say. Just now, down to what Barcelona will do. Would they pay that immediately? Would they try to reduce the price? Would they go with a loan with a buy obligation if certain conditions are met during that loan? Multiple things that Barcelona can do, and it's down to them to decide what's best for Barcelona economically and also for the team as well. So we'll see how things turn out. But again, Cancelo, negotiations continue for his permanent stay or maybe potential another loan for Barcelona this summer. Let's discuss the players that have been rumored to leave Barcelona over the past 24 hours. First up is, of course, Mikayil Faye. Lots of reports about Barcelona and Porto negotiating a deal for his transfer very, very soon. However, one anomaly has come out, and that is Roger Toledo of Mundo Deportivo. Keep in mind, he's very close to the club. Him and Fernando Polo, they both work, of course, for Mundo Deportivo, and they get these sources directly from Barcelona. This is basically what Barcelona want to tell the world, culés, and the media and stuff like that. So take this with, a heavy grain. He came out saying that although Barcelona need income to strengthen the team, the club is currently reluctant to let Mikayil Faye go and prioritize having Hansi Flick evaluate him first during preseason before making a decision on what to do with him. Barca is considering Porto's offer, but if they do decide to let him go, they want to include a buyback clause, something the Portuguese club currently do not want to agree upon. Barcelona also know that other teams are interested in Mikayil Faye, and they might even have higher offers than Porto's. Consequently, as of today, nothing can be ruled out with Mikayil Faye, who, if in the end is staying at Barcelona, will join the first team and have a contract improved. So if he does stay, of course, we'll renew his contract, give him a much, improved contract. He'll be part of the first team. Now, following this report, later in the evening, Tony Juan Martí came out saying that Mikayil Faye's departure from Barcelona is becoming more likely. The meeting on Tuesday between the player's agent and the club made the idea of a sale even more probable. The players' camp wants guarantee of playing time next season in the first team, which of course Barcelona cannot currently provide. Barcelona realized they could face problems if they don't let Mikayil Faye leave, and if he doesn't get enough first team game time, as well as financial pressure with few players wanting to leave. Mikayil's departure is one of the few clear options. The talks will continue in the coming days as Barcelona will let them maintain some control over the defender. Everything seems to be open right now, but after today's meeting, Mikayil Faye's departure seems more realistic. Which again, I think is a good summary, makes perfect sense. I think I fully agree with everything that's being said, especially from the Barcelona perspective as well. Essentially, if Porto put in a buyback option for us, this deal would have been done already. And that's the feeling that I've gotten. I think that the fact that there's no buy option there, that Porto are reluctant to give that, Barcelona are reluctant to sell him. I think for the price, for the operation, like I mentioned in yesterday's video, everyone walks away happy with a smiley face. You know, Mikayil Faye goes into a big team, gets some game time, Barcelona gets some good money. We also can retain part of his future. But again, it's just now, I think, fine-tuning the details of the operation. I personally would do this deal, 50 million, sell him. I would, of course, have a buyback option in there, probably for around 30 million, so Porto make double their money. Maybe the club can try, stretch that out where they can only activate it maybe after a year or so, or if someone else offers more, we have to either match it or whatever the case may be. So there's multiple ways of trying to, get Porto to budge in a sense. So I think it comes down to really that. So we'll see how things turn out with Mikayil Faye. Right now, he's definitely more outside of Barcelona than inside. Whether he has a fantastic preseason or not, he's not guaranteed to have minutes in the first team next season. Again, you have Christensen, Araujo, Koundé, Kubarsi, potentially Inigo Martinez. You have Eric Garcia, whose future still needs to be decided as well. Clement Longley is going to be there in preseason as well. So he might, impress Hansi Flick, and all of a sudden he's going to be saying, you never know in that regard. So we'll wait and see how things turn out with Mikayil Faye. But definitely, I would personally say right now, about 80% of the way outside of Barcelona. Now, another player's future at Barcelona that is more outside than inside alongside Mikayil Faye is, of course, Sergi Roberto, with Toto Costa coming out saying that Sergi Roberto's priority is to stay at Barcelona, but there are several clubs interested and have inquired about his situation, such as West Ham, Aston Villa, Girona, and Sevilla. They all offer him less money than Barcelona, but a longer contract. Now, we talked about the Premier League clubs being interested, and I said in yesterday's video, I'm curious to know what teams they are. Turns out it is West Ham and Aston Villa, where if he goes and signs for either of those two teams, he would be a bench player. I think he would start for Sevilla and maybe strongly contend for Girona for a starting spot, especially with Alex Garcia leaving. They're all, of course, Barcelona are offering him a 1-year deal, and these clubs are offering him a longer deal, so probably 1+1, maybe even a 2+1. I don't know, it's their prerogative. I don't really care. I'm still on the side of I think Roberto's going to stay in the end somehow, some way, but we'll see. Apparently in this report as well, they also mentioned that he's being offered less money and that Barcelona cannot register him due to his wages. I'm thinking, bloody hell, what? I thought the whole point of Roberto staying was that he stayed on less salaries, someone behind the scenes and stuff like that. Is all of a sudden he's getting a pay rise? I have no idea what's going on here in terms of his salary. I thought the prerogative was always that it was quite low, but now I'm kind of, based on the momentum in the media, kind of makes me feel like it's kind of a reasonable salary, which what the F we doing offering Roberto a good salary to be the 8th and 9th choice midfielder. But we'll see how things turn out with Roberto's future, where again, it's very much in the air and uncertain. Now, with Barcelona making some smart sales over recent years, it may come back this summer to benefit us, as again, we have a lot of players that have been rumored to leave their current clubs, in which Barcelona do have a percent of a future sale on. Firstly, a big one is Mikayil Marmol of Las Palmas, with again Gabriel Sanz of Mundo Deportivo reporting that Sevilla are very interested in Las Palmas center back Mikayil Marmol, of whom Barcelona hold 50% of his rights, and Las Palmas do not want to negotiate and refer to his release clause of 30 million euros to all clubs that are interested. So for that price, we would get 15 million euros in that case if he is sold. So keep your eyes on that. And also, Mundo Deportivo came out saying there's a total of 11 players across Europe's top 5 leagues that Barcelona own a percent of a future sale on, and they could end up leaving this summer. There have been a lot of reports recently about Collado making a move away from Betis. He's really impressed in Saudi Arabia. Of course, Todibo. A lot of reports about Manchester United, Aston Villa bidding around 40 million pounds, which is I think around 50 million euros. We have I think 20% of a future sale on him, 50% on Collado. Also been reports about Estanis Pedrola as well. We'll jump into that here really quickly. This came out saying that Deco met with the agent of Estanis Pedrola, and again, he will continue at Sampdoria, where Barcelona maintain a buyback option of 7 million euros until 2025, and of course, a percent of a future sale. And also, just side note here from this whole entire conversation, Alex Valle going to be staying for pre-season. That is a big call, and that now puts, I think, the future in doubt a little bit of Hector Fort. Apparently, Hansi Flick watched some clips of him at Levante and now really wants to see him in preseason. So that's now confirmed. Alex Valle will be part of the Barcelona squad for preseason. He will be on that plane to America, and afterwards, his future will be evaluated. Whether or not he'll stay in the first team or be sold, moved on, loan, or it could be again a sale with a percent of a future sale for, of course, Barcelona. That's something to watch out for. But again, Alex Valle going to be part of the first team squad for preseason. So again, keep your eyes on this. You have, of course, the Mikayil Faye operation and all these operations as well that can definitely benefit Barcelona financially this summer. Now, a player's future that is very much in doubt, but he's still on the side of continuing at Barcelona, is Inigo Martinez. And now with the future of Mikayil Faye being very much outside of Barcelona, I think that definitely benefits Inigo's future. Now, Gabriel Sanz of Mundo Deportivo came out saying that Inigo Martinez wants to stay at Barcelona no matter what, even if his registrations can't be guaranteed by the club. If the club fails to register him and he does not leave, Barcelona would be forced to pay off his contract. So again, we only registered 1 year of his contract, the other year isn't registered, and we have an agreement with Inigo Martinez. If we can't register him, we're going to pay him off for that final year no matter what. I think Inigo Martinez keeping him is beneficial. I think he had a pretty good season last season, left-footed as well, which would be nice to see. He is going to be about 4th or 5th choice, so I don't know if that's, if that's okay with him, essentially. I know maybe he has some ambitions to move on and play regular football before he ends up retiring, or maybe just, call it cool for Barcelona for 1 year and then go play 2 or 3 years and then retire. So that's going to be on the table, but I have absolutely no problem keeping Inigo Martinez. His wages are a bit high, but again, he did come as a free agent. I think he currently earns around 110,000 euros per week, somewhere in that region, maybe 120 at the absolute max. But good player. I think he comes in, if injury concerns are happening, I'll be very happy and safe with him as an option. Much rather have Inigo over, Eric Garcia or Clement Lenglet, even though there's no medium to long-term goal with Inigo. I think just for the short term itself, for that 1 year, he's definitely clear of Lenglet and Eric Garcia as a center back that, of course, left-footed gives him that bit of a benefit. So we'll wait and see what happens with Inigo Martinez. Either way, we're paying him for his final year. We'll see if it's going to be at Barcelona or somewhere else. Now, the final topic that I want to discuss before I end off this video is the biggest news around the past 24 hours. Finally, Barcelona are returning to the 1-1 rule. What did I tell you? It would be last second, and this is going to be happening at some point next week, which, of course, you're entering the last week of June. As predicted, I am a effing genius. Now, Roger Today of Mundo Deportivo is the one who broke the news. He came out saying the 50% of Barca Vision, which was sold to Liberal, will now be sold to a technological company in Dubai. Barcelona are already in a contract review and phase, and Barcelona are already in the contract review phase and hope to close the agreement some point this week. With this sale, Barcelona will finally return to the 1-1 rule. As we all knew, it had to be the Liberal operation. Of course, Eduardo Rebello in yesterday's video confirmed this. Nike renewal, player sale, nothing will benefit Barcelona to go back to the 1-1 rule. It has to be the money from Liberal. And Nacional also confirmed this as well, saying that Barcelona want to announce the 50% sale of Barca Vision at some point next week, and this will allow the club to comply freely under fair play. The league is also very optimistic about the club returning to the 1-1 rule. I feel like Thanos, when he snapped his finger, just sitting there in peace. About freaking time, I will say that. And also, we got the big fat confirmation as well from your boy Gerard Romero. He came out saying that, ladies and gentlemen, Barcelona will be back in the 1-1 rule next week. If the club returns to the 1-1 rule, there will be 4 signings and 4 departures. Again, he's still really honed in on that fact. But of course, the first part, we know how close Gerard Romero is with the board. So him saying this basically confirms that the plan from Rochelero and Nacional is 100% correct. They finally found someone to take the Liberal for both money. Again, they're going to be suing Liberal as well, so hopefully they can get that over the line with the Spanish courts. It's going to take a few months for that to go through. But again, they found a short-term solution. That's going to be important. But we're now in the 1-1 rule. Bloody hell, man. Feels good. But now, of course, the bigger task is ahead, like Gerard Romero mentioned. 4 signings, 4 sales. Now, again, with these 4 sales, I don't know who counts. Do you count your Alonsos, your Romeos, your Ansu Fatis, your Clement Lenglets? For signings, do we count Joao's, even though they were in the squad last year? I don't know. But he's saying 4 in, 4 out, and we'll wait and see what those are. But again, 1-1 rule confirmed. Finally. So that was my reaction to the Barcelona news over the past 24 hours. So if you guys enjoyed this video, if you did, make sure to leave a like, and of course leave me your thoughts down below in the comments on everything we discussed. The main thing I want to know first, of course, is your thoughts on Deco making Dani Olmo a top priority signing. Second, your thoughts on the left wing reinforcement as well. Who would be your priority? Would you go for Nico Williams or Luis Diaz? Thirdly, on the midfield reinforcement, are you worried about the lack of rumors and reports lately? And what are your thoughts on maybe Kimmich coming in as an option for free maybe next summer or this summer? I think Angelo, we can all agree, going to be unlikely. And finally, your thoughts on Barcelona returning to the 1-1 rule, hopefully officially at some point next week. And of course, make sure you guys subscribe down below if you haven't already. And I will see you guys next time on the channel. Take care and Forza Barca.